Practice quiz number 19. First problem, complete the table for the geometric sequence, then create the following: an explicit equation and a recursive rule. If this is geometric, it is not subtracting a number to go down, so it must be dividing. So I try 147 divided by 21, I get 7. So we're dividing by 7 every time. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 3 divided by 7 is 3/7, and divide by another 7, I get 3/49. I have now completed the table. Next, I'll come up with the explicit equation. In order to do that, I need the 0 term. So if I extend the table up, the 0, I need to multiply by 7. So 147 times 7 is 1029. I'm now ready to come up with the explicit equation. T of n is equal to the initial value, which is 1029, times the multiplier. The multiplier is dividing by 7, which is the same as multiplying by 1/7 to the nth power. There you go. Our recursive rule. The first term is the 147. So t of n plus 1. So now plus 1 would be the future. T of now. What am I doing to t of now? I'm dividing by 7, so put it over 7. The only other thing you need is n has to be greater than 1. I'm sorry, greater than or equal to 1. Next one is over here. We have the first term is 16, so we need to create our own table. So we'll have 0, 1, 2, 3. Our first term is 116. I'm subtracting 7 every time. So 116 minus 7 is 109. 109 minus 7 is 102. So a sub 3 is 102. In order to find the 23rd term, I would need to continue this table the rest of the way down. I'm not interested in doing that, so I think I will come up with an explicit equation and just plug in a 23. My explicit equation, t of n, is equal to the 0 term. Oh, I don't have the 0 term, so I have to add 7. 116 plus 7 is 123. So 123 minus 7 n. So now I just plug in a 23, and when I do that, I end up with a negative 34. Next problem. Mrs. Flubberdoodle weighs 256 pounds. Her new diet enables her to lose 7% of her weight per month. At this rate, what will her weight be in 6 months? I don't want to do this recursively, so I won't do 1 month and 1 month and 1 month. And how long will it take her to weigh half her weight? I'm going to write an equation that represents her weight and use that to get both of these answers. So, my equation for this one here will be t of n is equal to my initial value, which is 256, times 7% loss would be 100% minus 7%, so 0.93 to the nth power. At 6 months, I do 256 times 0.93 to the 6th value. When I punch that all in, I get 165.6. So for this one right here, I do 256 times 0.93 to the 6th, and I get 165.6 pounds. How long will it take her to weigh half of her current weight? I'm almost there, so I could just plug in a 7, 8, 9 and sort of do it recursively from here, because half of 256 is 128. But I think it's a little too far away, so I'm going to solve this one algebraically. I want this value to be half her weight, which would be 128. So I'll do 128 equals 256 times 0.93 to the n. Divide both sides by 0.93. Divide both sides by 256. I get 0.5, which is 1/2. equals 0.93 to the n. So I try a bunch of different values. 0.93 to a certain value. I try 7, I try 8, I try 9, I get 0.48, 0.52, I try 10, I get 0.48, so she's at 9.5 months. I just try different values, 0.93 to the 7, 0.93 to the 8, 0.93 to the 9, 0.93 to the 10. It's in between the 9 and 10 almost exactly, so I would say 9.5 months. That's how long it will take for her to cut her weight in half. All right, so there are currently 12 cooties in a classroom. Every day, the number of cooties triples. How many were there a week ago? So I could either divide by 3 every time, or I could come up with an equation. I will assume that we are on day 0. So day 0, I have 12 cooties. Tomorrow, it'll be tripled, so 12 times 3 is 36, and so forth and so on. So my initial value is a 12. I'm multiplying by 3 every time. If I want it to be 1 week ago, that would be 7 days. So I punch in 12 times 3 to the minus 7. That gives me 0.005486. So 0.005. Not even a half, not even a tenth, not even 1/100th. Great. It's not on the video. Right. So let's just slide it over. All the stuff I was talking about. On my initial value, there are 12 cooties. I just said at 1 day it'll be 36 cooties because it's tripling every time. So I come up with an explicit equation. T of n is equal to my initial value of 12. I'm multiplying by 3 every time. If I wanted it 1 week ago, that would be to the negative 7. So 12 times 3 to the negative 7th power would give me 0.005. So there are 0.005 cooties in the classroom 1 week ago. How many will there be in 15 days? So that'll be 12 times 3 to the 15th. And so I do 12 times 3 exponent to the 15th. And I get a huge number. 884, 172, 186, 884. 172,186,884. Anyways, the key is to see that you're using these explicit equations on all of these. That's usually your best way to go. And understand how to do the recursive. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your quiz.